All right, if there's anybody on here with me right now, I'm just testing. So, well, hi there. Somebody has joined me. How are you guys doing? I wish I could zoom out. I'm on my phone, so it won't let me zoom in and out. So, hold on just a second. I got to make sure I turn this down. All right. I've got another computer over here where I can read comments. So, all righty, guys. If anybody's got comments, you can write them down. I can read them over there. I am solo tonight. Hello, Miss Darlene. Hello, how are you guys doing? I'm so glad to have you guys. All righty. We're not going to start cooking until 7 o'clock because it is a cinnamon cake and everybody's going to want to see how this is made. So, I can look over there and see myself. Let me show you guys. See? I have another computer screen set up because it's hard to see the comments. So I have the comments off on here and I can look over there. And hello, Miss Julie. How are you doing? So wonderful to have you. So I am able to see the comments a little bit. I wasn't for sure if I could read them or not. Well, hi there. How are you doing tonight, Pastor? So glad to have you. I hope Miss Robbie Lynn's watching too. So, oh, I'm not techie. I was just trying to make sure that my eyes could visually pick up what I'm doing because I wasn't for sure because I'm going to have this turned down some, so I wanted to make sure I was still able to see the lovely comments. So it's going to be a little bit of a long video because we have to cook a cake. Start to finish. All right. Well, hi there, Miss Robbie Lynn. Glad you're joining us too. So, I have never cooked live. I've had live before where we have made things, where we had a Valentine's get together and I showed how to set a Valentine's tablescape and set up candies, but I have never baked or cooked live with you guys. This is going to be fun. So there will be all of my YouTubers, other YouTube channels that's watching will understand this. There is no stop, delete, and redo. It's all live tonight. So we are going to, can everybody hear me good? See me good? If you can, give me a thumbs up because I'm kind of in a testing mode right now just to kind of see where we're at. We got about 5 more minutes. I came on live because I wasn't for sure how to set everything up and I wanted to make sure that we got going. You hear me good? Good job. All right. So, what's everybody doing tonight and what did you have for supper? I haven't had supper yet. I came home from work. I had to set up the stage, grab all the things. How are my chickens doing? My chickens are doing wonderful. I have 9 hens and 1 beautiful rooster, and I think my husband collected 8 eggs tonight. So we're getting anywhere from 5 to 9 eggs. We get 9 eggs a couple times a week, but the average is about 7, and they're doing wonderful. We gave Big Mama, or Bob Ross, we gave him to one of the friends my husband works with, and he took him, and a man came up and wanted him because he was a beautiful rooster, and he's huge and he's ornery. And he wanted him to take care of a flock that he let free range. And so he's living the life. He's got him a bunch of ladies. And he's got a whole flock of ladies to look after. And so he's doing good. So that's what's happened to Big Mama. If you guys remember Big Mama. We didn't know he was a rooster. So he got named Big Mama. So let's see. Happy-go-lucky. That's who asked me that question. Hi, Miss Betty. Yep, I'm glad you're one of the first 2. Oh, yeah, fresh eggs here. Here's what we got tonight. I got some lovely little blue eggs. See my blue eggs? And then I have some brown. I have all different colors. I'm so blessed. This little chicken right here, she lays some big eggs. She laid one that I thought might have been a double yolk, but it was just a giant egg. So, yes, I'm very blessed. I'm telling you, very, very blessed. My little chickens are doing good. So, ooh, homegrown sausage and some eggs for supper. I like Brenner. I love Brenner. We have that at least once a week around here. Sometimes it's just the easiest thing to come in and scramble. Yes, ma'am, I am your best friend. And, you know, just come in, an easy thing to do after a long day's work, and scramble some eggs and throw some sausage in there and make some toast or biscuits. Let's talk about biscuits. I know you guys are trying to eat low carb over there in South Carolina, Pastor. So I've noticed you guys have lost weight and you're looking good. Miss Robbie Lynn's looking good. So I need to get on that bus with you guys. What was the saying? I fell off the wagons, pushed it in the woods and set it on fire. But I got to go to the doctor on Thursday just for a checkup. And I'm going to have to get on them scales. I'm going to tell them it's all this YouTube cooking that I'm doing. So, alrighty. You're doing low carb too, Miss Darlene? I got to get into the low carb. My plan is I'm still going to cook the good stuff, but what I'm going to do is bless people with it. This cake I'm making tonight is for a gentleman that came to work with us through a senior program, Mr. Lester at the library, and he's a pastor. He's actually Pastor Lester. He's a Baptist minister, and he has 2 churches. He ministers. He has an assistant pastor that helps him. He drives a good ways every other week. I will help you with some advice. I sure will help you. You just ask me and I'll help you. You know, Miss Lori from Whippoorwill Holler took me under her wing and she showed me a lot of things. She helped me know how to set up the pay and all of that stuff. I didn't know how to do any of that stuff. And anytime I have a question, she's right there. She helps me. I've been kind of helping Darlene. Darlene's been helping me. So we do. me and Darlene's kind of about the same stage of being a YouTuber. So she's hitting things that I've hit, and then I'm hitting things that she hasn't hit. And we're just kind of helping each other. I think we're getting about ready to start this cake. I'm trying to see what time it is. We got 1 more minute. I don't want to start till 7. I want to make sure I do it. Make sure everybody's here that's going to get here. So I have to show you guys this week. Last Thursday was my birthday. Nope, Thursday week was my birthday. And I got a care package in from Miss Regina. And all of my family will know Miss Regina. She's silly. She leaves the funny comments. And she sent me a care package. That rooster picture that's right over there was in there. That chicken that's right there was in there. I have a couple of other things that she sent me. She sent me some beautiful dish towels. And she sent me a Pioneer Woman spoon. So now my IKEA spoon has a friend. Isn't that wonderful? So I'm using these spoons tonight. I'm so thankful. And I got on to her because I want you guys to keep your money for yourself. But I'm so thankful. Well, thank you very much. I turned 49. I got 1 more year in the 40s. I never hide my age because you know what? There's so many people that didn't get to live to be 49 years old. And I just feel blessed. Every day God gives me on this earth, I'm thankful. So, I think it's 7 o'clock. Y'all want to build a cinnamon cake? Because it's going to be good. Mr. Lester don't know he's getting a cake tomorrow. He's going to be 82 years young. And I tell you what, he's been a blessing to us at the library. It's just been us girls for so long. And he's so funny. I'm going to tell y'all a funny story about him. But let's get started on this cake. So I'm going to turn you guys in. See, you can see my extra computer set up over there. Yes, ma'am. Hi, Missy Lou. Missy Lou's my cousin. You guys seen her on Testimony Tuesday, and we're going to start those back up. I just got to get some brave people that want to get on here and tell their testimony. So, alrighty, so we're going to start out with a white cake mix. I may need to center y'all just a little bit more so you guys can see. And I want to make sure we don't get started and then the camera falling. Wouldn't that be horrible? The camera fall into my mixing bowl. Let's turn it that way. I wasn't thinking when I set that up that we needed to be turned this way. Alrighty, so a little bit more back like that. Okay, like I said, we're live, so we're doing this. I'm having to do all the camera settings and everything as we go. So, well, I'm not going to add that yet, but we're going to use one box of white cake mix, and we are going to cream 1 stick of butter. I like to use the pre-made cake mixes because that cake mix right there was only 80 cents at my local grocery store. 80 cents, you can't go wrong with that. And I'm trying to kind of keep my flour because I had to go to 2 different stores to find what we got. So if I can buy a cake mix and save my flour, I'm going to turn this on low, this cream. And I like this stand mixer, but it's hell. I kind of have to put that in there. So I'm going to start busting my eggs in there. And I'm using 3 eggs. That's what the recipe on the box calls for. But now it didn't call for butter. We're going to make this taste like a homemade cake with the store-bought easiness. And I should be busting these eggs separately over here in this bowl and turn them in there. But I tell you, I'm just going to be brave tonight because you guys are with me. Oh yeah, we're doing this thing. You keep losing me. I keep going in and out. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm hoping it's not my internet. I didn't have internet here all week, and that's why I didn't do a video. We've been having some new internet service put in our town, and it's been hit and miss if we can get a video out. Okay, so we're gonna start adding our other stuff. I'm gonna go ahead and add my 1/4 cup of oil to this. I went ahead and added the recommended amount of oil, even though I'm doing butter, because it will just make for a delicious soft cake. And we're gonna start adding this in. We got other things to add in, but I gotta get a little bit of that cake in there. I always add another tablespoon of vanilla to it because it just adds something. It's buffering there. I'm so sorry. Usually I'm on my big computer. It may be my phone. We'll do the best we can. I seen where it said you're live, so that means that I kicked out and come back in. So we'll just pray that the Lord will touch this internet and let me stay up and get us a good cake going. Okay, to this, it's going to be a little loud because we're using the mixer. I'm adding 1 of the snack cups of vanilla pudding to it. And that's just going to add a little bit more creaminess and deliciousness. And then I have to take this and kind of rake the sides down. Like I said, we're making it from beginning to end, so I hope I stay with you guys. If I don't, I'm so sorry. Now, we're going to add the rest of the cake mix. And to that, we're going to add a 1/2 cup of milk. Slowly. And I always suggest if you want to take and sift your cake mix, you'll get a little bit more air in there. But tonight, I'm just going with it. I have to use this to kind of rake it into the beaters. Shift it back over that way. Yes, Miss Beverly, I can see your comments. Hey, Joni, how are you doing? Joni's my friend. And Miss Beverly's my friend. Every one of y'all's my friend. We're really brothers and sisters, really and truly, when you think about it. That's why I always say family, because we are family. When we get to heaven, we're all going to have the same Father, which we have the same Father now, but when we get there, things will be so wonderful. I just want to tell my family, if y'all haven't been over and checked out Pastor's page, y'all need to. The man has a son that is so talented with singing and playing the piano. I think I listened to him 4 times a day saying Consider the Lilies. It's one of my favorite songs, and the Lord has just blessed him with the talent. Y'all should head over there. And they just have a wonderful family. He's a pastor, and he really brings the word. I enjoy it. I enjoy their knowledge in the garden too. Okay guys, I think we got a good creamy cake going here. So my computer, what I'm learning is that my computer is behind my phone. So when I'm looking over here, I'm about a half a minute behind on comments. So if it takes me a little while to answer you, just know that my computer is behind over there. Alrighty. I don't know if you guys think that looks good or not, but let's see if we can't get these beaters out of here, because I'm going to have to use them for something else in a minute. I got to get them rinsed off. Normally, I'd find somebody to lick those. We don't worry about salmonella in this house. I've been licking beaters since I was a kid and never had a problem with it. I know things are different now, but I don't worry about it. Let me get that cleaned up. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to move this down, because I need to bring these pans over here so you guys can see me add this in there. Now we're going to reserve just a little bit. I've got about 1.5 cups of brown sugar in a bowl. Now remember, we're making a cinnamon roll cake. So what we're going to do is we're going to just take a couple of this spoonfuls of this this vanilla cake mix, and we're going to put it in here so that we have a little bit of a liquid. And then to that, I'm adding a whole tablespoon of cinnamon, because we want the cinnamon flavor in this. And then we're going to mix that. But right now, we're going to take half the batter, and I'm using these 8-inch square pans. And these come with a lid. That way, they're easy for me to give away. And nobody has to worry about giving the pan back. So we're going to do about half there and half over here. So, let's see. I'm trying to keep everything turned where you guys can see it. I've been nervous about this online all day long. I won't tell you no story about it. I can sit and talk to you guys all evening, and God gave me a gift for gab, so I don't have a problem with talking. But baking or doing something like that where I may have an issue, I've been a little bit nervous about that, because I thought, what if I burn the cakes? What if I drop the cakes? What if I... It's been a lot, but it's something that I've been wanting to do with you guys. Let me see. That looks delicious, girl. I can't see yours, Miss Beverly. I can't see your comments, but I'm glad to see you too. I had to go back up and read. I'm just running a little bit behind, but I can't see your comments. I'm so glad that you're here. If a lot of people are comment, they'll move up faster than what I can read. On a lot of the channels, they'll have an extra person that will sit and read the comments to them and help them, but I'm doing this solo. I'm doing it solo. Okay, so I got to set these aside, because we got one more thing that we've got to make for them. We've got to make this. And you know how you make a marble cake and you do the cocoa and the cake mix? Well, you're basically going to do the same thing here. You're going to take this and kind of mix this up. We may need to add just a little bit of liquid to it. So I may have to get some milk out, but I'm going to try not to. I don't know if you guys can see that, but man, that smells good. That cinnamon and that dark brown sugar. Now, you can use any kind of brown sugar you want. It's up to you. Yeah, we need to thin that down just a little bit. I think what I'm going to do is I've got a little milk left in this thing. We're just going to grab a little bit of water. And we're just going to hit that with just a touch of water. Just a touch. Some strong flavor in there anyway. We're Just mixing that up. Look at that. Don't that look like the inside of a cinnamon roll? Okay. I think that's going to be good enough. So we're going to bring our pans back over. I'm going to kind of do them like that, kind of get any air bubbles out. And then we're just going to dollop this on there. I'm going to start out with 4 on each one because it's not a very big cake. And I want it to have some of that delicious vanilla cake in there. This guy over here is going to be real cinnamony. So now I've got this spatula here. And just like when you're doing a marble cake, you're going to take this and you're going to run that through the cake. Then you're going to go back again. And that's how you're getting that cinnamon swirl kind of in there. Then let's do it over here. I think this is going to be a delicious cake. Mr. Lester loves to drink coffee. And so that's why I chose this cake, because I thought, boy, this will be good with a cup of coffee. You hardly ever see him drinking anything but coffee. It don't matter what time of day it is. So, there we go. Now we're going to put these in the oven for about 30 minutes on 350. And they may take a little less time because it's a half a cake and it's a small pan. I think I'm going to set it for about 25 minutes because my oven cooks a little hot. And I want to make sure that I don't burn nothing while you guys are watching. So let me set my kitchen timer. All right, we got the kitchen timer set. So now we have just a few minutes. And then we're going to work on the icing, but we got a little time. Coffee cake's your favorite, Joni? Let's see. It says, I'll now have to rewatch the yummy recipe from Miss Anita. Nana D says, hi, it looks delicious. Everybody says hi. I'm reading comments because I want to make sure that I'm saying hi to everybody. Okay, so let me tell you this story about the pastor. Pastor Lester. Okay, he has a wife. They've been married for 53 years, and she's in bed. And he works with us part-time, and he has somebody come in and take care of her. And so this is just his time to kind of get away. Plus, the little extra money helps out. Like I said, he has 2 churches, and one of them he's having a struggle to keep it open. And he really wants to keep it open because he's seeing young people come in. And we all know that that's a wonderful thing if we can get the young people to come to church. So this is a funny story. We have a lady who walks around town. And I'm not making fun of the lady. But she has mental issues. And so, but she's just precious. And so a lot of people take care of her and do for her. And so she comes in the library and she's carrying an armful of stuff. She has some soap and she has some dish soap and she has different things like that. And so she says, do you have a bag for me? And I said, yeah. And I said, you're going to need a big bag. So I give her one of our good bags that has a drawstring because I know she has to walk a good distance to her house. Well, Mr. Lester had never met her. And because she hasn't been in the library in a while. And so she said, have a blessed day. I said, you too, sweetheart, have a blessed day. And she leaves, and then a few minutes later, he comes in. And Mr. Lester is really animated. When he talks, he really is. So we've got this plastic partition around our desk because of COVID. So he comes in, he leans down, and he said, did you know that woman that just took out of here? And I said, yes, sir. And I explained to him the situation and who she was and that she was a sweet woman. And he looked up and he was thinking and he said, well, she just asked me for some sugar. And I said, oh my, because I'm thinking that she's asked him for a kiss. In the South, sugar can mean many different things. And I said, oh, I'm so sorry. And then he looks up and he goes, well, I'm going to take a break. I'm going to go buy her a bag of sugar. And he walks out the door. When he gets out the door, I lose it. Because now I'm thinking that she's done went out and asked him for a kiss. So when he comes back, I'm still laughing. I can't quit laughing. I'm having a Bond moment, a gray moment. So he sits down, and this is a pastor, you know. And I tell him, I said, I just have to tell you that when you came in here, I thought that you were telling me that she wanted a kiss from you. He goes, oh my goodness gracious, Lord have mercy. He started praying. And then he started laughing. And he said, you know what? I can see where you went to that conclusion. Before I go home to Miss Lester, I might need to change my wording, because he tells her about his day every day. I said, yeah, you don't need to go tell her that a lady asked you for sugar at the library. She might not let you come back to work. I thought that was a cute story. We've been laughing about it for days. He's so funny. And so I told him, if anybody needs some sugar and it's a lady, send them to me. We will straighten it out. So all of my people who are up north may not know that down south, you'll tell your significant other, can I have some sugar? And that means a kiss. So, all right, now, shared that story with you guys because I thought that was funny. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to take a store-bought frosting, and we're going to turn this into the most delicious cinnamon roll frosting. So now I just got to go over there and rinse those beaters. And remember, we're live, so I have to go do it live. So we're just going to give them a good rinsing. I wish my mixer had 2 sets of beaters, but it only has one. Let's get the sprayer and we'll get it done quicker. But anyway, what's the weather like in your part of the country? Here today, it was like the most beautiful day ever. We woke up in the 40s. Your daddy always said, give you some sugar, Miss Joni? Yes. So, what was your day like today? We were in the low 70s. We woke up in the 40s this morning. We actually was freezing, but I refused to turn the heat on. I'm not ready for heating bills yet. So, it's cooling down in Texas. That's good. That's good. We had a family come to our town and buy a little house, and they are one of the survivors of Hurricane Ida. They lost everything. I mean everything. They had just bought them a little mobile home, and her husband was a carpenter. They had completely remodeled it, and she said he finished on a Friday, and the next week Ida hit. So when they got their money, they decided to move out of hurricane zone, and they moved up here with us. And I started telling them about the mosquitoes, and she said, honey, I love her accent. She said, we're from the bayou. We know what mosquitoes are. And I said, oh, I forgot. Yes, you're from the swamps, in the swamp area. She said, yes, I am. And so, but they bought a little house, and they have 4 little children, and it's just wonderful to have them here in town. But she said that she just loved the cooler weather up here. She said that they hardly ever get down in the 70s, even in the wintertime. She said every now and then they'll have a cold snap. It's absolutely beautiful day in North. And Nana D said New Jersey was chilly today. I had to wear a coat when I did my morning walk, a jacket, not a coat. Thank you. Thank you. But one of the things they're excited about is seeing the leaves turn, and because they don't have a true fall there, and also they're praying for snow. So I'm hoping we get some snow so those little babies can play in the snow this year. Sometimes we get snow and sometimes we don't here in northeast Arkansas. Now last year we got the snow. We had 2 back-to-back snowstorms. So maybe we'll get at least 1 good snowstorm from them. My husband don't like snowstorms because he works for RDOT. And when it's snowing, he's in a truck. He's in a big plow truck. So, all right, I'm going to turn you guys down again, and we're going to work on some icing. Hope you guys are enjoying yourself. Hope I'm being entertaining. And you're able to follow along and learn how to do a recipe. So what we're going to do now is we're going to add, We're going to use the Pioneer Woman Spoon. Look at that. Oh, yeah. We're going to add that into our mixing bowl. We ain't going to leave a drop. And I tell you what, I'm going to save just a little bit of that so my 14-year-old has something to lick later. You know how kids are. And she's our last baby in the house, and we kind of have to let her be the baby sometime. Alrighty, so I'm going to turn this on low. We're going to start whipping this. I'm going to run and get my spatula that I like to use for this clean. Do you see some riding around on the side? Let me stop that. We'll get that up. Somebody tried to jump the train there. We ain't having that. Not with icing, we ain't. So what we're going to do is we're just going to let this whip some air into this. And once it gets some air in there, we're going to add a stick of room temperature butter to this. I'm telling you, this ain't a cake for somebody that's on a diet. So, we're going to get that turned up just a little bit, let that go. And while that's whipping, I'm going to run and get about 1/4 of a cup of milk. Okay, let's turn this back down because I don't want to wear this milk. We're just going to kind of gently add that in there. And this is going to give us that good frosting. Now, if you like cream cheese frosting, you can add cream cheese to this instead of butter. You sure can. Now, let's really get some air in it. Alrighty. Now, I'm going to take this off of there, and look at that. That is butter frosting. Look at that. And adding that milk in there is going to give it some creaminess. Let's go ahead and hit these. Get these pulled out. Put these in the sink. Now you have taken a store-bought frosting and you turned it into something beautiful and delicious. Look at that. And that butter's all incorporated in there. I still have a little bit of solid frosting up there, but we'll mix it together. But it's ready to go. Now, one of these cakes we're going to ice while it's warm, so I can show you what it looks like. But the other cake, I'm going to wait and let it cool down before I put the frosting on there, because that's Mr. Lester's cake. And I want it pretty. So let's see. Went in the 40s last night in central New Jersey. We were in the 40s too in northeast Arkansas. We sure was. And when I went walking this morning, it wasn't a cloud in the sky. It was just absolutely beautiful. And right now the birds are migrating through here. So it's constantly bird singing. They're just singing away. And the sun was shining through the trees. And I don't know if you guys are like this, but whenever I get out in nature, I have a praying table in my house, and I feel the presence of God anywhere I go in my house. But when I get outside, that's when I really feel God. So let me see what you guys said. It was a beautiful day in southeastern Washington State. The leaves are turning on the trees. That's Miss Betty. She's in Washington State. Well, that's beautiful country up there. It sure is. I haven't been to one place or seen pictures of one place that I haven't loved. The desert's got its own beauty. The oceans have its own beauty. The deep south with those great big trees that have the moss in it. I love that. A couple years ago, my husband took me to, how much do I walk? I walk about 1 mile in the morning, and I try to do 1 mile on my 30-minute lunch break if I have time. if I have time. Sometimes I don't get a full 30 minutes. Sometimes I have to get out there, walk to the courthouse. I'll walk to the courthouse, and then I walk back. I'm not going to the courthouse for bad purposes. I'm going because it's a nice little walk to the courthouse, and that's kind of a historical area, and so I get to look at some beautiful houses while I'm walking. Talk to God, hear birds, look up and see the sun, see the clear sky, and appreciate the master's artwork. And I think somebody said that they had had a near-death experience and that heaven was full color and the earth was muted. It was a version of black and white compared to heaven. And I think, how wonderful is heaven going to be? Because this world takes my breath away sometimes, the beauty in it. The things that heaven's going to contain, let me tell you. I can't wait to, well, I always say I can't wait to go there, but I always say, Lord, let me stay just a little bit longer. Just let me stay just a little bit longer, God. So, I think if, yes, every part of the state's beautiful. If you go to the desert mountains, to the Smokies, to the Rocky Mountains, to the flat plains, and where we live, it is definitely flat. We are in between Crowley's Ridge, and we are at this way is just the foothills of the Ozarks. And so we are definitely flat. I never thought that Corning even had hills until I got on my bicycle. You get on a bicycle in a flat area, you'll find the hills. Ooh-wee, I had to get up. I was going to ride it to work one day. I just knew I was going to be good. Harold had fixed a flat on my tire. Started up that hill. About halfway up that hill, I had to get off that bicycle and push that bicycle up the hill. I said, woman, you are out of shape. You've been eating too much cinnamon cake, I think. So, but I have a big yellow bike. And one day I'll take you guys on a ride. I'm going to get me a new thing that fits around my neck where I can put my phone in there. And so I can film while I'm out on a bicycle ride. And I just call it the Big Banana because it's a big, bright yellow bicycle. And one day I went to work and I hadn't had it very long. And it was so cute. It had a little cup holder and had a little place for my phone, a little basket on the front of it. It's a little cruiser bike. And so I rode it to work, and I didn't put a chain on it because I live in a small town. And somebody stole my bicycle. So I called the cops, and they said, really ain't much we can do for a bicycle. They really just weren't that interested in helping me. We have a good police department, but they got too much going on. It's only 4 or 5 people in our town, policemen, and they've got a lot to do. So I don't want to put my police down. But so anyway, I did my own investigation. I got in my car, and my husband picked me up, and we drove down the road, and there was a guy outside doing yard work, and I said, excuse me, sir, did you see a big yellow banana bicycle go by here? He said, well, I sure did. It was a guy riding it, and he headed down that way. So I said, all right. I went on down, then I seen a lady out in the yard. I said, excuse me, ma'am, did you see a big yellow bicycle? And she said, yes, I did. It was a guy on it, and he was flying that way. I said, all right. I felt like Columbo. I was getting somewhere. So then we went on down. There was another man. He said, ma'am, I don't want to cause no trouble. I said, well, you're not going to cause any trouble. I'm just trying to get my bicycle back. And he said, well, I know who it was. And he told me the name of the guy, and I knew the guy. So we never did find the bicycle because he rode it over the railroad tracks and went down a gravel road. And we kind of lost him when he got on the gravel road. There's not many people live out there. So, and there was corn growing. So when there's corn growing, you can't see much. If it had been plowed, I would have been able to find him. So anyway, I went on his Facebook and I said, sir, I know you're the one that took my bicycle from the library. I don't want to file charges. I'm a forgiving person. I just want my bicycle back. If you can have it back on Monday morning and have it parked on the side of the library, I forgive you. I was going to forgive him anyway. It's a bicycle. I don't want anybody to go to the devil for a bicycle. So anyway, he brought it back. And let me tell you, I don't know where he had rode that thing, but he had rode off he had somebody sitting on there. My cup holder, my phone holder was gone. My basket was bent. And she's been put through a lot. She went through some hot asphalt, and so now she's got speckled black all over. But I love it, and I just so thank God that he brought it back. And if I want to put my cell phone in my basket, I still have my basket. I can still put my water bottle in there. But I just love that old bicycle. And so I'm going to take you guys on a ride with me, and you'll be able to maybe see some of the parts of town that we live on. And you'll hear me when I'm going up a hill, unless I decide to put music over it. Because I'll be praying. I'll be saying, Lord Jesus, help me up this hill. We got about 6 minutes till we're going to check our cakes. I'm going to look at some comments now. So let's take you and move you over here so I can look at the camera and look at you. And see, Darlene, I put some lamps on over there. Darlene told me the other night, she said, your dining room's so pretty. You need to have some lights on so people can see your dining room over here. I told her, I said, honey, when I come home at 5:30 and I need to make a video, sometimes I forget to brush my hair till I'm editing, and then I realize my hair is standing straight up in the back of my head. I just want to make a video for you guys, and sometimes I get off at 5:30. I have to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning sometimes to get them grandbabies. So sometimes I just have to do it like I'm going to do it. Tonight I took a little time, put a little makeup on, put a little earrings. All right, so let's see. Anybody got any questions for me? This will be the time to ask me. I love how you guys talk to each other in the comments. I just want to tell you that. I like that our family's getting to know each other. Let's see. Everybody's talking. Great story, thank you. So does anybody have any questions? And remember, I'm a little delayed, so it'll take me a little time. And have we quit buffering? Thank you, Miss Darlene. Me and Miss Darlene met on here. She's a YouTube channel. She's Super at 60. If you haven't checked her out, please go check her out. Well, thank you, Miss Joni. I came home and I did do a little work on the barn tonight. Slapped some earrings on there and just a little bit of makeup, and I did run a comb through my hair. Yes, Miss Darlene wants to sit in this chair, but let me explain to you about this chair that's right here. This chair is over 100 years old. My mother worked for a lady and she passed away, and she didn't have any children. She had a 13-year-old son, and he passed away. Well, she was an 80-year-old woman when she passed away, but her son passed away when he was 13, and she had lost her husband like 20 years before. And she had fell, and my parents found her in the floor. And my dad broke the door to get into her. And you know what she said? She said Jesus had stood at her feet all night long, and he had let her husband hold her hand on one side and her little boy hold the other hand, and she wasn't scared a bit. She lived about 2 hours after they got her to the hospital, and she passed away. And this was a family heirloom that nobody wanted. And so she had told her niece that if they didn't want anything, that she wanted my mother and father to have it. So my mother gave me that rocking chair. And because I'm not a small woman, I don't want to turn it into wood chips. So that's the no chair. No, you don't sit in that chair. No, that's the no chair. It's for looks. So, because it is 100 years old, and it's got the old springs across it. And so, yes, we are about the same age. I'm trying to read down here and read your comments. Let's see. She wants me to go sit in that chair. Darling, you do not want to see me break that 100-something-year-old chair over there. And I'm telling you something, too. You know my little dog, Tilly? She decided to teeth on the front of it, so I've got to sand it. It didn't have one blemish on it. It was a perfect finish. Tilly gave away. I stood on the outside of the house, and the first car that drove by could have her. I'm just kidding. We love Tilly. Let's see. It said, yes, love your rustic decor. Will you be doing any more decorating tip videos? Yes, I will. When I decorate for Christmas this year, I'm going to take you guys step by step, because I put up 3 Christmas trees. So we're going to go step by step. I'm going to let you see everything. I had planned on you guys seeing me decorate the yard and do the yard work, but the wind was like gust of 40 miles, and my camera would not stand up. So it is some beautiful, I have beautiful friends, I'm going to tell you. The YouTube channel was something that God laid in my heart. I've said this before. For 2 years, he kept telling me, and I said, Lord, I don't want to be on camera. I do not want to be on camera. He said, bless people, encourage them. My people need encouragement. I just kept feeling. So I said, okay, so I made me a YouTube channel. And the first 30 people were all family. And I hope they're still watching. I know Missy Lou does. And that's what I want you to feel. I want you to feel at home. I want you to feel like we're friends, because we are. And here's the thing. On this earth, we may never meet each other, not one time. We may only know each other through this YouTube. But when we get to heaven, I believe we're going to have the ability to know each other. We're going to know each other. And you're going to say, hey, my name was Miss Betty and I watched your YouTube channel and you encouraged me. And I'm going to say, you encouraged me with your wonderful comments and your wonderful blessings that you would say. And sometimes I'm going to need prayer. I'm going to come to you guys. We are a family. That's the way I look at it. We are connected by the Father in heaven. So, Joni's super at 59. I'm super at 49. So, and I have to say, I've been very blessed that I haven't had any really negative comments. I'm going to go check these cakes because the timer's about ready to go off. Let me grab some pod holders. We're going to check them. They need a little bit more, just a little bit more. They're just about there. Oh my goodness. I opened that oven and it smelled like Cinnabon up in here. Cinnabon. I don't know if you guys know what Cinnabon is, but I can smell Cinnabon when I walk in the mall. I'm like, they got a Cinnabon. My husband's like, how do you know that? I'm like, bloodhound. Let me tell you, I got part bloodhound in me, but it's only for sweets. Thank you, Miss Tracy. You're a blessing too. You're a blessing too. Every one of y'all are a blessing to me, and that's the truth. And you know, I do wish we were all neighbors. I wish we would. I wish there was some way that I could travel around and have lunch, take turns having lunch with every one of you. Just sit and chat. Hopefully that will turn off so I don't have to try to jump this camera. Okay, it turned off. We're going to have to let them go for just a few more minutes. They were a little bit soft in the middle. So, I do love you guys. There's been times that, you know, I thought, I just don't got the time. But then I would think, oh, my friends, my people, you know, you guys are my people. And I just love you. I just love you and love you. And I want to tell y'all something. I forgot to put the vanilla in that icing. So I'm going to add that real quick while we're waiting for the... Hey, live, you know what I'm talking about. Live. So I'm going to take and hold this up and we're just going to mix it in there. I always like to add a little bit more vanilla to my cake. A little bit more vanilla to the icing. Because it makes that homemade taste come out. And so you don't want it, you want it to be thin when you're doing cinnamon rolls. Oh my goodness. And I tell you, you could poke holes in this cake. Miss Joni wants me to come see her in Dallas. You know, my husband's been wanting, he got to go there one time for work. When he worked for, the factory, he had to go take some shelving down. And that's when that big hurricane was coming through there, probably about, 10 years ago, 11 years ago, somewhere like that. And he had to hurry up and come home. I can't remember the name of the hurricane. But he had to get out there. He wanted to go see where President Kennedy was assassinated and see all of the history. My husband's a big history buff, loves history. So, I am going to do cookies. I did candies last year. We did 12 days of candy, and I'm just going to tell you, 12 days of candy about killed us. So I am gonna make some candies, but I'm not gonna probably do videos because they're candies I've already done. But I thought we might do 7 days of Christmas cookies or something like that. And coming up right after Thanksgiving, I'm going to be having a collab with one of my favorite channels. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm not going to announce it just yet because we're still in the works of it. But I can't wait. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. So I'm so excited about that. But I want to bake cookies and then have my candies made and then link where I made the candies and show how to put together a gift box, a Christmas gift box with edible goodies. Does that sound like a good idea to you guys? Well, thank you, Miss Beverly. Thank you so much. Oh, we're going to Virginia. I got close. I went to Noah's Ark up there, and that was it was as far east as I've ever been, because we were right near Cincinnati, Ohio. So, yes, ma'am. We'll have a good time. We're going to have some good times. Christmas is my time of the year. I'm going to tell you something. If I could run around with mistletoe and bells and not get in trouble working in a library, I'd make some noise. And I'd say, Mary, did you know? So I love that song. So we're going to have some fun. This next, let's see, probably today is Monday. I'm going to do Encouragement Wednesday. Thursday, I have this recipe that would be perfect to be served at a Halloween party. I don't really do Halloween. I do fall. But it would be for any party, and it's going to involve corn dogs, chili, and cheese. That's all I'm going to say about that. And Grandpa Harold can't hardly wait for me to make it. He's been like, when you going to make that corn dog chili stuff? You know, man. He likes to get on the Grammy Nay train whenever it's delicious. Sometimes if I'm cooking something that he's not quite happy about, like he don't like cabbage, so when I made the cabbage soup, I had to make him a different dinner. And I just want to tell you, I need to show y'all my freezer, how much soup I've got put up for when it gets cold winter time. I mean, I showed y'all some recipes, but it helped us here. If y'all come over, we're going to have some soup. Because I got the soup. Let me go get them cakes out before they burn. Yep, they're done perfectly now. So, I'm going to set them up here. Let me get me a couple pot holders and put under here. I wish you guys could smell this. I'm telling you, it is delicious. I'm going to cut this oven off because y'all know, if I don't cut that oven off, I'll go to bed and wake up in the morning wondering why the house is burning up. Because I left the oven on all night. So, that's okay. That's okay, Christy. You can watch later, honey. You came in at the best time. You came in at the icing time. Hi, Miss Mary. Now, I want to tell y'all something. My two that just joined me, they both need prayer. Miss Christy is going through some problems with having muscle spasms. I hope it's okay for me to share that. And Miss Mary, she needs prayer too. I want y'all to pray for her. I'm not going to tell her situation because she hasn't gave me approval to do it. But please say prayers for them, okay? So, we're family. We're supposed to stand together and pray for one another. You're in Dallas. I think I could just go stand in the middle of the state and I could see a lot of my people. So, alrighty, I'm going to turn y'all down. Y'all ready for this? Y'all ready? Let's get y'all turned down here. Look at those cakes. Let's get you a little closer. Yep, I think y'all can see that good. Does that not look delicious? Perfectly cooked, not burnt at all. I thank the Lord Jesus because I prayed. I said, please, Lord, don't let me get to talking and burn the cakes because I'm a gabber. So, we're going to ice this one. We're going to ice this one right here with half the icing. And then we're going to not ice this one till later. And you know what I'm going to do? Because I'm keeping this one at the house. I was going to give it away. But if I give it away, Grandpa Harold, we're going to poke some holes in it. That way that icing runs down in there. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, people. And this is the perfect way to give gifts. You could do this at Christmas time if you wanted to give a goodie. You could do brownies in this. You could do a cookie pie. We're going to add just a little less than half, because I want to make sure Mr. Lester's birthday cake is just beautiful tomorrow. And we're going to spread that on all. Oh, wee. What y'all think about that? Does that look good? You're welcome, Miss Mary. That's what we're called to do. We're called to love and pray for one another and stand up for one another. That's what Jesus loves. I had a man give his testimony. I watched it, and he said that he had, it was the same man that had a near-death experience, and he said that the Lord told him to love the person that's in front of him. And don't that make absolute sense? You love that person that's in front of you. If you do that, then that person will go and love. Love is contagious, just like hate is. So if you spread love, it's going to be wonderful. So, oh my goodness, y'all. Let me get me a plate. We're going to cut us a piece of that. We're going to look at it, and we're going to be happy. I want to get me a pretty plate. Let me get me a spatula, and let's get us a piece. Let's cut us a piece right there. Oh my goodness. Can you guys see that? There was some cinnamon left in the bottom. I didn't get cut all the way, but see that, how that cinnamon cooked all the way to the bottom? So let me grab me a fork now. I'm not set up for eating. I was set up for cooking. Let's turn you guys up here where you can see. I don't have enough hands. I need one more set of hands. So let's look at that. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Let's move this over and let y'all see. Can you see that cinnamon swirl all down in there? Let's taste this. Now I'm going to tell you what would be good to this. Change out the butter for sour cream. Not the pudding. Change out the pudding for sour cream. Change out the milk for buttermilk. It'll add some more richness to it. Check that out, guys. Hallelujah. I just don't know what to say. That is so good. And I'm not just saying it. It is good. It tastes like cinnamon roll. It tastes like a cinnamon roll. He's going to enjoy that in the morning with his coffee. Then he'll get to take some home to his sweet little wife. Don't that look good? Remember, I always tell you guys, make it your own. If you don't like something I put in it, change it out. That is so good. I'm still chewing on that cinnamon that got a little hard in the bottom of that pan. Okay, anybody got any questions? Before we sign off, because we have been on here an hour. I made 2 cakes in an hour. I'm looking to see if you guys got any comments. I don't know if y'all know this or not before we get off here. Miss Mary, that's on here tonight, is the one that made these for me. And I love them. And I went to the oven a while ago and didn't even use it to get the cake out. I have them on me, and then I feel like I'm dressed with beautiful scarves, and I forget to use them. So, hello, Sheila. Sheila is my sister-in-law. She's Grandpa Harold's sister. She's my sister, too. You guys can see my halo light back there. Get to see a little bit behind the scenes. Good, Miss Beverly. Because I'm probably going to have the candies already made and relink, and then we're going to make some cookies. I'm glad you received my prayers, Miss Mary. I was typing them out, and then all of a sudden I realized I can record. And I like to send a recorded prayer to you if I can't pray with you live. That way you can pray along with me, and where 2 or 3 are gathered together. There we are in the midst. Pastor, did you get to stay on here, you and Miss Robbie Lynn? Or did you get kicked off? Well, hi there, Miss Catherine Cooper from Memphis. I was born in Memphis. I was born at the old Baptist Hospital downtown that they blew up about 16 years ago. Lisa Marie was born in the same hospital I was a few years before. And it was also, I was going to say it was the same hospital that he passed away, but he passed away at the Med. So, I'm from Tennessee. I'm from a little town called Munford. I've been in Northeast Arkansas for 15 years. God bless you. Well, if anybody don't have no questions for me, and I have done a good job at making a delicious cake tonight, which I know Grandpa Harold's going to come running out of that bedroom like a herd of cattle when I tell him I'm off the air, and have him a piece of cake. Yes, I was born at Baptist East Hospital. So when you watch all the documentaries and it shows where Lisa Marie was born, I was born there too. I made it laid in the same bassinet as she did. So, your sister's name is Sheila too? Sheila's a good name. Well, I love you guys. I'm praying for you guys. And I will see. That's okay, Catherine. You can watch it in the loop. And I'm going to do more lives. We may do a live probably around Thanksgiving. God bless you, Miss Pam. God bless you so much. Thank you for being faithful to me. You guys have a wonderful evening. Until next time, I'm Grammy Nene. Thank you. Love each and every one of you. God bless you. Good night.